Hey everybody, time for a second gym battle. Now this one's more difficult than the last one. If you've seen that one, hell yeah, it didn't get any views. But this Adinja, you really think he wouldn't be a problem being faster, but he really is. He got rid of my Fire Blast, as you already saw. And then he got rid of my Toxic, but that doesn't matter, right? And so then I get demolished in the next round, getting rid of my only offense against those types. So yeah, I use Strength because I'm stupid, which doesn't affect ghost types, I forgot. And then he uses Future Sight. I think it's a big deal, but it's really not. I mean, honestly, it harms me a little bit, but it doesn't. He uses Payback, which does devastating damage to me. Ugh, almost half. Look at that. Duster is powerful. Ghost is extremely powerful. Can't wait until I get to the Elite Four. God, I'm gonna feel so much. Anywho, he uses Mean Look right when I was about to switch out. Sadly. I'm gonna switch out next round to see if I can get a Sand Attack on him. See? Sand Attack. Now I'm forced to fight. He uses Payback. Of course. It completely annihilates me. That Future Sight, I thought wasn't gonna be that Future Sight, it was a real big deal. It didn't do that much damage, but allowed him to kill me. Oh, like that. Luckily, Karate King has my back. And he uses Dragon Pulse. And completely does not much damage. He uses Future Sight again. I thought it wasn't gonna be a big deal, doing less damage. Now I use Dragon Pulse, which completely annihilates him. Having no damage done to me, I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be easy from now on. But now he's sensing Gengar. Still thinking I'm all that. He uses Destiny Bond. Oh, I'm like, oh crap! I use Dragon Pulse. It's my only attack, honestly. So I'm thinking, he's no problem. But then he uses that attack. It doesn't do much. And I'm talking about Duskar by he, not Gengar. Anywho, he uses Dark Pulse, but doesn't do much because, I'm a Steel type. Ooh! So I use Dragon Pulse again. He uses Destiny Bond, worrying that it won't have any effect anymore. So yeah. So I used Dragon Pulse, hoping that I was going to go before him, but sadly I didn't. Or did I? Actually, I don't remember, but he took me down with him. The Karate King has fallen. Anywho, he sends in Rotom, which I think is a big deal, but it really isn't. Of course, he has a stronger attack against me, but luckily I have these moves. I use Flash against him. Which luckily lowers his accuracy. See, he uses Hex. I'm like, oh crap. So I use Screech, getting his defense down. But when he used Hex again, I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna lose. Luckily I didn't want to use Screech anymore because of course I was gonna lose. So luckily I used Electro Ball. And luckily again, it does a critical, which allows me to catch up. He uses Hex. Because both of us only has one attack against the other. Honestly, I have Low Kick, but that doesn't affect Ghost type. So I use Electro Ball. It's not very effective. See, but luckily Electro Ball kills him the second time. Lucky me. Right? He says in Chandelure, but I'm like, man, that's no problem. I use Electro Ball. Boom, thinking he's gonna do a big hit. Well, it does an adequate hit, but he uses Fire Blast. Of course, the move I tried to use, but that stupid Sedenta, it annihilates me. So I come in with my shell, my starter. Man, you're toast, man. It uses Toxic. Oh, I'm like, crap. And I figured these guys really focus on the enemy's stats and power and how many times they can use their attack. So I used this time by being bold and offensive, using Waterfall. After that damage, I was like, man, I can defeat this next one in no time. But he sends in Jellicent, of course. Of course, the one ghost Pokemon that my shell can't handle. So I use that. It's not very effective. Disables it. So that's a problem. The only attack I have is Surf and Waterfall. You know those attacks. I'm poisoned, which does the best, which does more than last time. I use Waterfall. It does more damage, luckily. Thinking it wouldn't do much. Luckily, his disable only works on one attack. Anywho, she uses Hex. And now, this is where it ends. I send in Rager. Now, Rager, I played with him carefully. I'm usually bold, but I use Dive, knowing that it's not effective, but I used it to dodge. Luckily, it was right. Now I know he has Hydro Pump. Well, I mean, see. So now I used Dive, which does an adequate amount. Now knowing what would have happened if I used a different attack, I dodged her other attack using Fly. Using Hydro Pump, trying to do damage to me. I'm like, Fly! And now, Jellicent is dead, and that's the final. I win.